All right, Ms. Nieves, I find probable cause for the charge of battery. Do we have the victim here that wants to be heard? Do we have any input from the victim, State?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, bond is currently set at none. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. Does the defendant and the victim reside together? Do they have children together?
One moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, they do reside together and they do have one child together.
Okay. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. I'm going to require no contact with the victim in this case. They're to maintain separate residences. The defendant can return to the marital home one time with law enforcement to collect personal effects. And should the defendant want to modify those terms and conditions of release, that can be brought up with the judge to whom the case is assigned. All right, thank you. Next, I have Booker Austin. Mr. Austin is charged with retail theft. It is a petty theft amount, but a retail theft with 3 more priors, which makes it a felony. I find probable cause based upon the charging affidavit. I'm going to reduce the bond from $2,500 to $1,000. Does Mr. Forgot to ask whether the previous folks wanted the appointment of the public defender. Does Mr. Austin want the appointment of the public defender?
Mr. Olson did fill out an application, Your Honor.
All right, I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent Mr. Austin. I'm also going to require that he, as a condition of his release, not return to the location of this offense.
And Your Honor, Ms. Armas did fill out an application as well.
Your Honor.
All right, I'll go ahead and appoint the public defender, Ms. Armas. I moved a little too quickly. Yes?
Your Honor, this is Officer Hernandez with pretrial release. Are you going to take any action on the Osceola case 24 CF 1309 that he's out on probation for a petty theft?
I overlooked that. Bear with me 1 minute. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
No problem, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, look at that. On probation. Same offense. All right, so so he's currently on probation. Is he? All right, so my options are to,
Your Honor, if I may briefly.
yes.
I just say I don't know Mr. Olson's previous representation, however, just from my observations and interaction with him today, I do think there is a possible competency concern. If Your Honor would be willing to take no action on the violation of probation, I think that might be due to a competency issue.
Does he have something, he's on probation in Osceola County 24 CF 1309?
Yes, Your Honor. He's on state probation for that offense from Osceola.
All right, you know what, I'm going to take no action on that, and his probation officer may choose to violate him on that. But this time I'll take no action.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. Feel free to speak up if I'm overlooking something. All right, Amanda Bentley Scott.
And Your Honor, I do have a PC and a bond argument for Ms. Scott.
All right. All right, go ahead and make your PC argument.
Yes, Your Honor. As to the burglary, in the 4 corners of the affidavit, there does not appear to be any intent to commit a crime therein. There is no evidence that Ms. Bentley Scott intended to commit a crime when she actually entered, like when she entered the home. There's no indication of what her intent was when she did that. The fact that a crime did then occur after the fact does not indicate that she had an intent when she entered the home.
State?
Your Honor, for this particular charge for the burglary with assault and battery, she remained in the home despite not being invited in and committed the crime. I think what defense is getting at is more a potential defense of some sort. As to the four corners of the affidavit, it's clear that she entered in there with the intent to make contact with the victim. So it's clear PC is found for this particular charge, as when she was in there, she further, the victim is saying that he observed her throwing items in his living room when he was not in there. And so she clearly entered with an intent to commit either the crime of criminal mischief, perhaps some sort of later assault. So it's the state's contention that she had the intent when she entered the building. Further, this particular charge is a pretrial detention hold, and so that's what state would be asking she be held under.
Be held for pretrial detention hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may briefly.
All right, I'm going to find probable cause on the charge of burglary with an assault or battery therein, and also battery. Did you want to be heard on release?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Bentley Scott has let me know that she's 5 months postpartum at this time and she's still breastfeeding. So I would ask Your Honor to take that into account when determining whether to release Miss Bentley Scott.
Okay. Well, the state has requested a pretrial detention hearing. Do we know when that will occur, Madam Clerk?
November 19th at 8:15.
All right, I'll hold Ms. Bentley Scott until that hearing can be conducted. That's November 19th at what time?
8:15.
8:15 before which judge? Whoever's going to be handling it. All right. But I will find probable cause on both charges and detain the defendant for pretrial detention hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Next, I've got Samuel Carter.
Your Honor, I do have a PC argument for Mr. Carter.
Morning, Your
All right.
Honor.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Carter. All right. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. The identifying witness in this case was only able to say he, quote, could possibly, end quote, identify the suspect. He was not directly involved in the original interaction, and therefore I do not believe there's enough to find probable cause based on this very tentative witness.
Well, it says in about 2/3 of the way down, I was able to make contact with an employee, Carlos Giovanni Marrero Cerda, who advised he was there and saw the male who stole the green Jeep Wrangler, and could positively identify him. Does that change your argument at all?
No, Your Honor.
All right. State, do you want to be heard?
Your Honor, I think PC has been found, especially since the defendant was later found inside of the vehicle that was stolen from the
Okay, all right.
location.
I'm going to find probable cause. I'm going to stay the bond at $2,500. Does Mr. Carter want the appointment of the public defender?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Carter's filled out an application.
All right, we'll go ahead and appoint the office of the public defender to represent Mr. Carter. Good luck, sir. Carlos Cristancho Rodriguez.
He requires the aid of a Spanish interpreter, Your Honor.
Okay, put that off for Spanish interpreter. Next, I have Gregory Danner. All right, Mr. Danner is charged with possession of controlled substance, meth, and possession or use of drug paraphernalia. If I find probable cause, I'm going to stay the bonds at $2,500 and $500 respectively. Does Mr. Danner want the appointment of the public defender?
At this time, Your Honor, yes.
All right, I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent Mr. Danner. Thank you. Next, I've got Christopher Duncan. Mr. Duncan is here on a failure to appear. I'm going to find probable cause based upon the documentation receipt. I'm going to stay the bond set by the judge who he failed to appear in front of $4,000 and appoint the public defender's office to represent Mr. Duncan unless he's already represented on the original charge.
Are you representing the public defender? Yeah. He'd like to keep the public defender, Your Honor.
All right. All right, thanks, sir. Alberto Labrada.
Your Honor, I do have a PC argument for Mr. Labrada.
Morning.
Morning. All right, you can go ahead and make your argument, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. There appears to be enough evidence in this case for a finding of probable cause that client was acting in self-defense. The self-defense statute in the state of Florida means that a person who is defending themselves and standing their ground is immune from prosecution. Therefore, if PC for self-defense exists, there can be no PC for a crime occurring because Mr. Labrada would be immune from any prosecution.
All right, state.
Your Honor, again, that's just what's being asserted is a defense potentially to the crime committed. In this particular case, the victim states that a firearm was pointed at her, and so PC has been found for an ag assault deadly weapon.
Your Honor, if I may, quickly.
You may.
This isn't a defense, Your Honor. This is a immunity from prosecution. If he is immune from prosecution, then no crime occurred. There cannot be PC for an argument that he is immune from.
Well, that is an immunity argument that could be made, but looking at the four corners of the charging affidavit, I am going to find probable cause for the charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Is there a second charge? The way this is written is a little confusing. Or it's just the one charge? Because I show a bond amount of $1,500 and then one total of $4,500. Does he have
I
a
think
second?
it's the way Your Honor, I think it's the way he crossed it out. It looks like a 4, but it's,
Oh.
yeah, I think it's the weird way he crossed it.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That's exactly what it is. Thank you for helping me read that. I probably could not have figured that out. All right, it's at no bond. I'm going to set bond. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $3,500. I'm going to require that Mr. Labrada have no contact directly or indirectly with any witnesses or victims. And did he want the appointment of the Office of Public Defender?
Not at the moment, sir.
I'm sorry, did not hear that.
Not at the moment, sir. I'm still looking to see if I can appoint someone getting out of here.
Okay, I think that's no.
Yes, Your Honor, it's a no. I apologize.
Okay, he can retain counsel. It's just the microphone's a little fuzzy there. All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey everybody, welcome to American Courts at an odd time. We decided we'd do this at 3 o'clock just to see how it'd work out. I'm gonna see if I can bring in Allie. Let's see if I can bring her in. Let's see, go over here, pick up Allie. Hot damn, there we go.
Hi. There we go. Hi, guys. I'm here.
For some reason my head is bigger. My head just keeps getting bigger. I don't know how that works out.
I have a feeling that if we put our heads side by side in real life, it would still be bigger.
Oh yeah, I'm certain of that. I'm certain of that. I didn't even need a helmet to wear to play football, so it always worked out.
Yeah. But yeah, welcome everybody. We're doing a weird time. We're going to try it out. Try this 3 o'clock time slot, even though it's 2 o'clock here. So it should be fun. I'm glad you guys are all here. We should have lots of fun. I'm
All right,
excited.
We're gonna go over some court from Judge Fleischer's court today. So let's see what we can get done there. Let's see. We got let's look at what we got. We got yeah, this fella here. Let's. Here we go.
There we go. Double teaming it.
Yep.
Ordered.
You can just see this guy panicking here.
Did we?
I'm going to
Yeah,
stop
he's
it.
definitely nervous.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it and just say, hey, look, this is where you can have the comments that you can't have in Judge Fleischer's court. These are where you can have the comments that normally would raise some eyebrows over there. There's different rules. There's different rules over here than there is over there, and so you guys feel free to have the comments here. We still want to keep it somewhat clean. I still got kids. I got to look in their eyes and be decent around, but you guys can have some good comments, and like you can, here I can make fun of Allie's hair, and
Just let's play by the PG YouTube rules, guys. So let's make sure like any curse words, just misspell them. We'll know what you're saying. So let's just
well,
try to play by the YouTube game. But yeah, we're a little bit more loose here. Court chat is different because that's a direct reflection upon the judge and the court and his official things. So we like to keep things super, super, super on the up and up there. But here we can actually talk about these people a little bit and let loose a little bit. So yeah, you can say that this guy doesn't necessarily look like he's dressed appropriately for court. Yeah.
Well, so Allie, you and Lena's got to go see the court. Was there a dress code outside?
There is a sign. There's several signs. One of them says that like your pants need to be pulled up and no ripped jeans. I think there is like a thing that you have to be appropriately dressed for court, but yeah, it doesn't say necessarily a dress code, but I am pretty sure. Linus, remind me. I'm pretty sure there's one that says no ripped jeans and that your pants have to be like pulled up because I'm sure they get a lot of people where the kids wearing their pants around their knees. I don't know why that's a thing, but it just looks uncomfortable to me. But that's the fashion.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I guess if you show up at court and you've already got shorts on, you're kind of lost at what you're doing there.
Yeah, I mean that's hard. You shouldn't be wearing shorts if you're like a defendant, definitely. But if you're a court watcher, I think they're a little bit more lax, especially since it's Texas and it's so hot. So I don't know. Yeah, shorts isn't the greatest option to go
Okay,
in,
so
definitely.
you're trying to tell me that the people that are driving drunk and the people that are going into Walmart and stealing stuff with the cameras right in front of their faces should be making the better choices?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Got it. And well, let's go with this one. This one, I put both of them together. You know, at the beginning they go in and get the arraignment, then they get sent for a drug test, and then they come back. I went ahead and put all these together that way. I forget within 2 or 3 hours. I think it's a new defendant, and it ends up being the same one. So if I add them together, I can remember it.
And thank you, Bill, for all of your hard work.
For all of my hard work.
Yeah, for putting it like combining all the clips and everything.
No, the judge had to tie a bow tie. I didn't have to do all that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about how you had to clip everything together when they come back and like the defendants.
Oh no, I make Linus do all that.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Then that's okay.
Yep. So here we go.
You have a lawyer today.
So,
What are you doing about that?
I have a court appointed in my other case. And
I didn't ask you if you had a court-appointed lawyer on your other case. I asked you if you have a lawyer on this case and what you're doing about that.
I'm trying to hire one. Finances haven't been what I thought they were, but I've signed a lot of work this month. I have a couple big jobs coming up this next week. I will take a court-appointed.
I'm sending you now for a drug test.
Yes, sir.
You must take the test and you must come right back afterwards.
Yes,
You
sir.
understand me?
Yes, sir.
Fail to take the test. If you fail to come back, I will make your bond so high you'll have more hair falling out. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Take a seat. Today is your lucky day because had you tested positive today, I was going to revoke your bond and put you in custody. So good job on not using. Great job.
Thank you.
You just saved yourself a trip. You saved yourself a trip to jail.
Thank you.
So good job. All right, we're going to give you another reset for you to, we're not asking much, man. We're just asking you to stay clean. When you do, good things happen.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
I remodel homes.
What kind of money do you make a month?
It's been a little light lately, but things have oddly, my phone's been ringing off the hook and people today. So I have 3 weeks of work lined up. So
Wonderful.
yes, sir.
At the end of the day, when you put your heart and soul into your work, and when you do a really good job, your phone will continue to ring off the hook. If you do shoddy work and you do a half-assed job, word gets around. People aren't stupid. I can't tell you how many contractors I've hired to do this, do that, and they do such a terrible job that I tell all my friends, they tell their friends, and by word of mouth, it just spreads. If you do a good job, people want those kind of workers in their houses, and will continue to get calls. Don't half-ass. You do a good job, it pays off. It's like that in anything in life.
Yes, sir.
So what are you making a month, would you say?
It varies anywhere from 1,500 to 6,000 or 8,000. It changes. Last month was kind of light. I was very stressed and kind of had to pull my head out of my ass, and things have gotten a lot better. My 5-star ratings on Google are really starting to pay off.
Do you want to fill out an application to see if you qualify?
If that's what you recommend, yes, sir.
It's up to you. You know what? It's kind of late. Let's do this. I mean, it's already 1 o'clock. I can send you home with an application. Do your diligence as well.
I think
If you still have any issues, you can come back and we can talk. Stephen will give you an application, take it home, fill it out, and when you come back, we can talk.
yes, sir.
But I'm going to tell you, the longer you wait, it's just like anything in life.
I'm speaking with Miss Sims, Diana Sims, and I should have the down payment for her. Shortly. Yes, sir.
Like I said, take it home. If you have any issues, you can always come back and we can talk. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. Just stay clean.
Yes, sir.
It will happen if you do. Okay? Really. All right. Good job.
Thank you.
Did he say what he was dirty for? I missed that.
No, he was clean. He passed his test.
Oh, he did? Cool.
Yeah, he passed his test. He was good, and he was talking about how his business is getting better. And it's amazing when you get clean how life just starts getting just a little bit easier. Things just start to work out just a little bit better. And
Absolutely. It's so much work. And if you channel that energy into something productive, so many amazing things can happen. And people don't realize how much work it is to be an addict. I know this isn't court addict, but it's a lot of work. It's very exhausting and not fun. So yeah, if you can take that energy and point it into something productive, you can do amazing things.
Absolutely. So Michael put up a comment earlier. Right there, we can admit that Linus and ATX Alley are the meanies. Nan, Kathy, American Courts are the white hats. Look, guys, I am rarely ever the one who deletes your message. And the only reason I'm rarely the one who deletes your message is one of the other ones got to you half a second faster. I can't tell you how many times I delete a message and it's got someone else's name on who deleted it, which is good for me because it makes me feel like we're all on the same team, that we're all on the same page going through it. But I guarantee half of the messages we delete, we truly don't think anything of it other than, that's just not going to work. That doesn't fit the puzzle. But there's certainly,
and it's definitely not anything personal, and it's just things to keep chat clean. And we don't want anything to come back on the judge if he's going to run for re-election. We don't want anything in there to come back on him for that.
Hold on. Didn't you say when you delete Amanda Pandas it feels personal?
Me? No.
Yeah. That was Nan.
Days.
Yeah, that was Nan. That was Nan that just says she just gets happy and giddy about that.
Yeah, Nan's a big bully. Everybody thinks she's sweet, but she's a bully. No.
So we're gonna.
But no, seriously, guys. Just a quick thing, and I'll get off my soapbox on it. I don't think everybody realizes that although we're moderators in that chat room, we talk about chat all the time, and I'm not talking just chit chat. We actively look for ways we can improve and get better, and it's always a constant improvement process. So we treat it almost like a job. It's more than just us showing up to a chat room and having fun. It's very serious to us. So we do take it very seriously, and we feel it's an important thing. So just know that we're working hard and it's not personal, and we love everybody who's there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, except for Jennifer, the painted blonde. When I delete one of those, there's a grin and a fist bump that I do every time. So
I'm sure.
We're gonna go to one that I have listed as pedo. So I wonder what it is.
Uh-oh. Interesting.
I'm here. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to figure it out on my phone. I apologize.
He is here, though.
Perfect. Okay, great.
Okay, I remember this one. This lawyer down here is a good talker. She sounds like she's on the news or on the radio, and she spoke a million miles an hour and talked great for someone who wasn't worth talking great about. Of course, there's always the presumption of innocence. We're always going to play that
Right.
presumption of innocence. That's what the court has to do, but I don't have to do that. I don't have to assume that this person's innocent. I can assume that there's enough against this person to go ahead and just, I don't like him.
Right.
But the
That's
judges,
the easy part.
right? No, absolutely, and that's where judges and lawyers, they know how to turn that switch off. I don't. I never
Right.
need to run for that type of job. Let them do it because they can compartmentalize that stuff. I can't. And so, but this lawyer here, she does a good job advocating for her client, and I don't know how she does it, but she is a fast talker. So here we go with this one. This was
Love
a
it.
good one.
Sorry, it's Francisco Gonzalez.
So, Judge, we're here just asking
And she's eating, by the way.
Yeah,
this
she's just
morning.
doing everything.
Okay.
Do you bring him out? I can't remember if you bring him out or if you just want me to start.
No, I want him to hear it. So I get just wait.
Okay, perfect.
I see what it is though, and
Well, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about, though. So we can wait for him to get out there if you want, Judge.
yeah. But ouch.
And you know, there's no good place to put the comments.
I know, right?
Yeah. You know, I try to keep the bottom and the middle cleared out for closed captioning. And
Yeah. Closed
And
captioning doesn't work while it's live streaming. It only works after it's done, and then YouTube creates the closed captioning. But if somebody watches it on replay through and you put the
Francisco
comments there, then they have to
Jesus
pause.
Guerrero
That sucks.
Gonzalez.
hey,
Sir, you
a favorite
are-
Myco line, court's in order. Be quiet.
Oh, sorry.
Wanted out of Maricopa,
I'll be
Arizona.
really
I want
quiet.
you to know that you're not here alone. Your lawyer's here with you, but she is on Zoom at this point. Your lawyer is asking me to set you a bond, but I don't know. I don't know anything about you, and I have to get to know you in a very short period of time. The way we do that is by looking how you are on paper, because that tells me a lot of who you are, what you wanted, and your prior criminal history. So, Dave, tell me about Mr. Guerrero.
Your Honor, he's wanted for 4 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, dangerous crimes against children, class felony 2. I spoke with Maricopa County Attorney's Office, and they state that they don't oppose him getting a bond, surprisingly. However, I have some reservations. I spoke with Pari about this. Is at the time he was arrested, is that he had an open flight to Mexico, and so regarding the severity of the charge and his ability to obviously leave the jurisdiction of America, is that I'd have reservations regarding his.
Well, we can always make him surrender a passport.
And that's what Pari was saying is him surrendering.
And I do have an update on that day, and I apologize for not telling you earlier about it. I can tell you now in front of the judge, but whenever you're done, I'll let you know.
No, I mean, that's if you want to.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Judge, here's the thing. I think the reason that jurisdiction's not opposed is because he's been under investigation for 2 years for this. And in fact, he already has an attorney there that I've spoken to. So normally in these scenarios, when you're working so closely with the jurisdiction, the times that I've done it here in Houston, out of consideration for the client and the attorney, normally when they end up filing the warrants, they let the attorney know. That's the reason that you get an attorney preemptively in the first place. I don't know why that didn't happen, but there's absolutely no reason to think he's not going to turn himself in. He's 25 years old with no criminal history. He went to college in Arizona State. Judge, when he graduated, he stayed there and he worked as the press secretary for the Mexican consulate. The reason he had the ticket, and I wanted to verify before telling you, is it was already booked. It was a round trip ticket. The ticket back to Mexico was set for yesterday. He would never buy a ticket while he's in custody to go to Mexico.
Was this a 2B or was this already an open charge?
No. It was, they literally just filed the warrant. He has been under investigation for 2 years. They just filed the warrant. And for some reason, they didn't tell the attorney he was working with so that he could set up a time to turn himself in, which they usually do. In fact, when she found out about it, she called when she found out he was in custody, and that jurisdiction told the attorney, her name is Melanie, that the charge is still unfiled. So I don't know where the misunderstanding came, but the warrant was literally just filed. If he knew about it, there was no way.
There's no misunderstanding. They're just, he had a flight, but they filed the case in between.
Right.
Exactly. So, and just so you know, Judge, so he got picked up on the flight in. Like, he came to the U.S. on Thursday. He was set to go back to Mexico Sunday. And the reason for that, just so you know, is because just so you know, his mom lives in America. His stepdad is an ER physician. He's going to be staying with them. He will surrender his passport. But when he didn't know this was all going on, his biological father has 7 bakeries in Mexico. So he was helping his dad that's why he was in Mexico. But he has no issue staying here. He has family here. He has ties here. He already has an attorney. So
Aria, we're good. We're good. Are you okay?
I mean, the demanding jurisdiction is okay with it.
You're right.
Like I said, I just have reservations regarding the severity of the charge. I understand what Pari is saying, but if the demand jurisdiction is open for a bond, I just defer to the court regarding setting a bond.
Also, about the charges, one more thing about the charges. They read way worse than they are. I'm not saying it's an okay charge. I just am telling you that I spoke to the attorney, and that's the way they word possession of child pornography. I just want the court to know that this is not a case where there's actual 4 victims. That's their version of possession.
So I, for me at least, I want surrender of the passport.
100%.
And then we'll set a bond.
Would someone be here to surrender that now to the clerk's office, or?
Let me ask him where it is, and I can have someone there, because I don't know where his passport
So
physically is.
let's do this. I'll have him put back and you can talk to him in the back.
Okay.
Let's figure out the logistics and then we can come back and set the bond. But I'm not going to set it until I know it's been surrendered, someone else has possession of it, and then we can set the bond for you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
Well, because the other
What's
part, more for the court, is that if there is an intention to set a bond, that I can let the demanding.
You're okay?
Well, no, just in terms of, like I said, I just have my reservations because of the severity of the charge. But regarding the bond, is that the demanding jurisdiction is about halfway into the governor's warrant. Apparently, they won the battle bad enough that they already started working on it, and so they're about halfway through. It's already got the process from the county attorney's side, and so just so that I can let them know if the court does set a bond, I can tell them to stop working on it, or at least pause it so that they don't put extra effort.
I mean, I'm okay with it if you are,
Okay.
and Paria obviously is, right? Just, we need to figure out what the amount is, but first things first is the surrender of the passport, and then we go from there.
Do you want me to stand down? Do you want to reapproach today, or do you want to?
No, we'll reapproach today. Let me talk to him about where it is. It may be in his property if he was stopped at the airport. So let me figure that out, and I'll reapproach.
I got to approach with Abel later anyway, so I'll hang around.
All right.
Okay, I'll be quick.
I still need admonition too, by the way. So, okay.
All right, I'm gonna throw that out there. I think the biggest thing to me is when she may have talked about it, or she's getting ready to talk about how there was no victims in this.
That's what she's gonna say.
Yeah, let's give them a bond because there's no victims. It was just pictures.
That's the wrong thing to say to a judge.
But that's what defense attorneys. That's what defense attorneys do
No.
for some reason.
I know, but and I 100% know that that's her job. But that's usually the wrong thing to say to a judge, because a judge is going to turn around and say, every time those images are viewed, that person is re-victimized. Like every lawyer or every judge I've ever seen has immediately retorted with that.
Right,
and it's
right.
True.
Well, okay. Well, we can all call ourselves fans of Judge Fleischer's, and he didn't even come close to that.
Yeah.
So let's see what he does here.
Okay.
Do you want me to bring him out, Paria?
I'm back. Yes, please, Judge.
Are you on a cruise?
No, I'm at the airport.
Francisco, what's the last name?
Hey guys, the other Guerrero? The other gentleman that was here, Guerrero?
Francisco Gonzalez.
What'd you find out, Paria?
So the family has, his mom has a really dear friend who lives here. So I'm going to give her the instructions. The passport is in the property room. So I'm going to give her the instructions for him to go. He has to sign over the property release. She'll get the passport, I'm hoping today. And then I'm hoping tomorrow morning at 8:30, she'll be in the courtroom because you want her to turn it over to the clerks, right?
Yes.
Then I'm hoping
So
that
you want to basically turn it over to the clerks?
Oh, and that's what that's what they're supposed to surrender it and for pickup. And so until they get it, I would have, again, additional objections.
Do you mind if we just negotiate the bond amount now, knowing we're not going to set it that way his parents can know? And I'll hop back on Zoom tomorrow as well. That's fine once the passport is in, but just so we have an idea of what the bond's going to be.
That's fair, yeah. So I talked with Paria a little offline about it, and so ultimately, I would have issues with going down further than 25,000, just because the nature of the charges and the fact that there are 4 counts of them. But ultimately, if the demanding jurisdiction is okay with him getting a bond, I mean, I can't really argue against that. So, I mean, it's their case. But that's what I told Paria is. That's where I stand.
Sure. And Judge, I understand that this is not a case where it's going to be set at $500, so I understand.
Okay, thank you, Linus, for bringing that up, because I saw that whenever he had the creepiest grin whenever it was mentioned the child content. Zach Florida was mentioning.
I missed that.
Yeah, no, he had a creepy ass grin, and he may be nervous. It may just be a nervous grin. You know, people do that dumb stuff, but it certainly didn't help him any. It certainly didn't help him any.
Yeah, knowing his charges definitely doesn't help.
Right. Now, Zach Florida has a really, really smart point on not defending him in any way, but what if it was his 17-year-old girlfriend and he was the 23-year-old, because he's 25 now and this was over 2 years ago. Not defending it in any way, but it feels a little different. It feels a little different. Now, I'll say this, it feels a little different unless it's my daughter. If we're talking about people in general, yeah, we could just, say, yeah, I get it. It's, 23-year-old guy, 17-year-old girl, that's only 6 years difference. That's not, but if it was my daughter, no. Nope. My oldest daughter's 26, and I still think she's, whoever talks to her should be charged.
My first real relationship, I was 14 and he was 19. And we were together for like almost 4 years. It was not appropriate at all. But yeah, we were together till I was like 17. He was 22? He's 5 years older than me. So I don't think that was an appropriate relationship at all. But I didn't know any better. I was just this young like teenager, and some like older guy paid me attention. That's all I cared about. I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
So,
now, Gina,
yeah.
Gina's saying 4 counts. I wonder if that means 4 victims. No, that could be 4 separate pictures. In Florida, if you have 100 pictures on your phone or whatever, that's 100 different crimes. They give you a crime for each one. But now my son when he was 18 or 19, he was naive and no, you know what? He was 17 at the time. He was naive and didn't know what the cloud was, and so he's 17. He's got a girlfriend that's 16 or 17, and they break up. And a year or two later, I'm on my computer clearing stuff out, and I'm of course I run out of memory, and so I'm going through clearing stuff out, and all of a sudden, what the heck is on my computer? And me and my wife quickly identified what it was and quickly delete it, and identify and I was such a wimp. I literally went to the police department. Hey.
Wow.
Because look, there's an underage kid on my phone or on my computer.
Right.
And I was like, no, y'all creeps are not going to catch me up on some stuff. I'm paranoid. I'm crazy. I'm a crazy government conspiracy theorist. I'm thinking you're putting them on my computer already. And so,
right.
But I talked to him like, hey, do I just need to throw away the computer, or is deleting them enough? But kids need
to. No, for real. I mean, that's a good question, because they can forensically go back and look at it and say, yeah, I mean, that's a very valid question. I think you did the right thing.
Right. And see, grown-ups need to be smart enough not to be sending naked pictures to each other. And, kids, certainly.
Dude, I don't understand that trend, but that's just me. I don't know. As far as age differences, though, who was it? It was Painted Blonde. Yeah, my grandmother and grandfather were 21 years apart. He was 21 years older than her. And they had 6 children that lived. I think she gave birth to 8 and 2 were stillborn. And it was funny. My grandmother would say, loved saying that she could not tell you what room any one of her children was conceived in. And I always thought that was really funny. But my grandfather passed away when my mom was the youngest child, and he passed away when my mom was 3. So she never knew her dad, and my grandmother never remarried. But so there's an age difference for you there too.
Yeah. Well, it's also different times. And, you know, we like to think that our time is the smartest time. And then as we
Right.
get older, we start to look back and go, oh, wow, that really was a great generation back ago. If you ever need an example of that, just think of music.
Yep.
Yeah, for some reason, music can't be good now. Well, why was it good when I was a kid? It was. I love it. But,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
All right,
And
let's
so
finish this one up.
Zach saying in Florida, 1 video equals 10 pictures. Absolutely.
Wow.
And I think each one of them should be a death penalty offense. So
Yeah.
here we go.
The bond needs to be released. Well, we were asking for 10,000, right?
You want 25,000 today? She wants 10,000?
Yes.
So we'll split the puppies.
Okay.
15.
15? Yes, Judge.
15,000?
Yeah, but I'm not setting it yet.
Just so you know, Francis,
Right.
right, tomorrow. So Francisco, just so you know, your mom's friend is gonna come by and pick up your passport. I'm gonna text your family and explain how that is. And then once it gets surrendered tomorrow, we'll set your bond.
Understand that once you guys surrender the passport, I can set you a bond, and I want you to understand that we take this absolutely serious. We give you 2 weeks from the date of your release to go surrender yourself or post bond in Arizona. You're old enough to understand that actions have consequences. If you fail to do this, I will revoke this bond. You're going to be out all that money. I will issue a nationwide warrant for your arrest, and I'm going to get you. And this time, I won't do this again. You get one opportunity, and if you fail to go do it, we set bond at 0, and the next time I will hold you until Arizona comes and gets you. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll set you for tomorrow to wait for the passport, and then we'll go from there. Okay?
Thanks,
Thank
Mario.
you, everyone.
Thanks, Mario.
See you tomorrow, guys. Thank you, guys.
All right.
All right. Then the next one we've got is I've got it listed as F up. It's we got them set to get picked up, out of state warrant, and we sent it to the wrong place.
Oh no,
And so,
that's not good.
and folks, look, a lot of these hearings that you guys have seen just a little bit ago, the moderators didn't get to see it. We're too busy hustling through comments, or in my case, I'm normally too busy with work, or normally too busy daydreaming or doing something else, and end up missing most of it. But if we just had an ITSEL here, we'd be happy.
And there she comes.
There we go.
Welcome, Melissa. Melissa
Welcome,
is
Melissa.
judge court clerk. She sits right next to him and does so much work. We got to sit next to her when we were there.
Is she the one that
she's fantastic? We
Is
love
she
her.
the one that's constantly beating the hell out of the stapler?
I think it's a stamp. The stamps
Okay.
are really loud.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. If it's an electronic stamp, it sounds just like a stapler, but somebody's giving it hell all day.
Yeah, and you're right. Us mods, we don't really get to watch court. So this is kind of cool. I actually get to rewatch and pay attention, because most of the time I'm paying attention to chat and never pay attention to what's going on screen. So this
Yeah.
is so fun. I'm glad you guys are all here for it.
And I had mentioned to somebody else earlier this morning about I was going to throw on some other court too, just kind of a, hey, in case you were in Judge Fleischer's court, here's what you might have missed. And I was quickly corrected saying, nope, we are going there to see an after the show of the show we just showed. So
Yep, exactly.
go to that show. All right, Melissa. Here
And
you
Zach,
go.
Zach, welcome. Thank you for becoming a member, Zach. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Zach. Thank you. What part of Florida are you from, Zach? I'm there in Florida too, so let me know what part of town you're in.
All right, so this one's gonna actually be a bigger problem than the other one.
That is the understatement of the day right there. Did you hear what the DA just said?
No, what'd he say?
He said,
Sorry.
this is going to be a bigger problem than we thought, or this is going to be a bigger problem than the other one.
Oh, no.
So here we go. Here we go. Listen to how he starts this one.
All right, so this one's gonna actually be a bigger problem than the other one. So Gustavo Green currently is wanted out of
We
Nebraska.
have him now? He's in custody?
He's in custody. So today was the original date for pickup for Nebraska, but Turns out there was a miscommunication. So on the front cover of the fugitive packet, it showed that he was wanted out of Sarpy, Nebraska, which is true, he is. However, the detainer placed by the sheriff's office was for Douglas County. He's also wanted out of a third county. So because of the miscommunication, the teletype was sent out and they just didn't pick him up. However, obviously they're rushing. So there's a couple scenarios. The first,
But why does he have to suffer because someone at the sheriff's office messed up?
but the issue part of this is the only hold that was actually placed from the sheriff's office was Douglas. So the ones for Sarpy hasn't been placed yet, and they didn't know, otherwise they would have come to pick them up. So I've talked to a sergeant at Douglas County and an officer in Sarpy County, and so I'm still trying to Sarpy County, and they're still trying to figure out if Sarpy County is able to get here faster than Douglas County, but Douglas County
You're
actually,
making a bunch of assumptions.
well, but for Douglas County, they were able to confirm like today, because originally they were supposed to come on the 20th, but because of miscommunication, when we followed back up on them, they originally were going to come on the 20th, but now it has to be the 26th, which again, I understand.
You're assuming I'm not going to give him a PR bond right now.
Right. So for the 26th within the 30 days, but the issue is because the Sarpy hold and I can't remember what the name of the county for the third one. It starts with a P or Ponta. Anyway, but all that's to say is because those haven't been placed yet, if they get placed today, then he gets set for arraignment again, and then he gets brought up again.
Yeah, but so I'm going to give him a PR bond right now.
Right, that's what I mean. It's like, and so at that point, I don't know which is gonna answer first. So
Yes, Judge.
yeah.
I mean, why does he have to suffer because someone at the sheriff's office messed up? It's like my child.
So it's one of those, I don't even know which end, and all that's to say is like, so because the front page cover from whomever the arresting officer was, they put Sarpy, but I guess how they selected which hold, because all three are verified, like he's wanted in 3 counties in Nebraska, that's already been confirmed, is I don't know how they made the selection on which one, because sometimes they put all 3 or 2 or however many at the same time, and that's typically what I would advise, but I have no control over how they do it. And so they just chose to put this one in and not the other 2, which they do show as a background hold, they still are placed. And so even if the court does give a PR bond today, because at least one of them is at a background hold, it will automatically trigger once he makes bond on this one, they'll automatically file the next one. And if the court decides to give a PR bond, obviously, that's the court's decision. I'm just letting you and Abel know is that that's how it's going to be triggered for the sheriff's office, which I have no control over. So
am I bringing him out?
Yeah. So I didn't know this until today, because obviously today was the original date for pickup, and that's why
What's your position, Abel?
I would concur with your assessment. I think that the state had their shot. And by the state, I mean...
It's all about fairness, right?
So
at the end of the day...
I'm presenting the facts as they present themselves. So
I think that...
Judge, I'm sorry, Judge. If another hold does pop up, I'd request that you give him a PR bond on that. And then if another one pops up for the other different county that he's wanted out of as well. I mean, again,
right. Well, and obviously, if that's the way, I'm just letting you and the court know is that because it triggers the case to be filed, it has to be brought back for arraignment again. Like, I'm not disputing that could happen or likely will happen. I'm just saying, regardless of that happening, it's going to trigger another arraignment date because it hasn't been filed yet. It's still just put as an it's already put as a hold, and so that's why once it hits the 035 hold, it's going to get filed again. So it's going to get cycled back. That's why.
When?
I don't know. I mean, either today or tomorrow morning. I can't, again, like I have no control over the sheriff's office. I can't.
So because, and the charges that he's wanted for are sexual assault of a child in the first degree, sexual assault, strangulation, and now we have.
And the other ones are a violation of, one of them is similar to contempt, and one of them is violating a court order. I want to say bond, but I'm not sure. So the other ones are FTA. And
unbelievable how someone can just pooch that.
And so, and for what it's worth, for this case, he actually was in this court 4 years ago for the same offense that he's now wanted again. And at that point, he was already wanted as a fugitive in South Dakota. He was on in another state for the same warrant where he was apprehended there and then here, or vice versa, and then he was taken back. So he's already been a fugitive twice on top of the 3 open warrants.
And here we are yet again, and still.
And I just, yeah.
Unbelievable.
That said, wanted to make sure all the facts were out there. So I didn't know until this morning. Because like for the holds, we don't get to see, especially for multi-county holds, is we can't see which county selected because on our hold screen, it only shows what state. So that's why it's important for the multi-jurisdictional
I mean,
ones.
things need to change, Day. It's just,
So that's why as soon as we found out, I reached out to both, and that's why I'm standing here instead of Amy, just because of how much of a problem it is. And so that's why I made sure to get firm dates for Douglas County, because they're the ones that already have the hold. And I wanted to make sure that it was still within the statutory 30 days before I made any approaches. And so I haven't gotten a call back from Sarpy. I don't know if it's because they use the same transport company and it was just a matter of communicating, or if they're trying to get an investigator, lieutenant, or somebody to bring them over.
ultimately what happened, someone messed up in your case and they let the wrong county know and gave wrong information to the wrong county. So as a result, we have to give you a PR bond. But I'm going to tell you now, these charges will always be in warrant status until you take your happy ass on up to, where is it?
It's Nebraska.
To Nebraska, man.
I have my attorney here.
I don't care if you have an attorney. I don't care if you have Jesus on your side. You have to go to Nebraska.
I'm
And
headed
in
there.
fact,
I'm headed
these
there.
charges will remain out there for the rest of your life until you make it up to Nebraska.
Understood.
So, Your Honor, just even though it is a PR bond, what amount will you be putting for the PR bond?
It's inconsequential. I don't know.
Because in the event that it doesn't, it still gets revoked. And so just trying to figure out what to put on our,
You have an amount?
Abel?
$1,000?
That's what I mean, I was, especially considering that there's 3 counties, I mean, if it's inconsequential for the number for the court, then I would ask to be set at 100,000 because of severity and the fact that he has 2 prior fugitives for the same offense that he's FTA on, and the fact that he has 2 other ones.
Okay, I'm gonna set it at 50,000, Abel, okay? Regardless, I'm giving you a PR bond now, but these, like I said, the,
I'm gonna, do you want him to reapproach when I print out the reset? Because I'll do the reset for returning himself. So if,
no, let's just get everything done now.
okay,
You know?
I have to type
Yeah,
it up.
take your
that's what I
time,
mean.
no rush, you know? But like I said, these charges will remain out there until you take care of it, you know? You remain in Harris County, you will continue to get picked up, and you're gonna continue to sit there over and over and over, and these charges have been open since what, 2000 and?
Well, the last fugitive case was 2020. I don't know when the charge started, but that's, but also, like I said, we might end up showing up tomorrow for the exact same thing, or what day is today? I can't even, Wednesday, whenever they file it and then they bring them up for the holdover for processing. So I don't know, I want to be upfront, is that we're going to go through this again at some point. And at that point, maybe we'll get an answer from Sarpy. I don't know. But if I could just have 5.
How long would it take for them to get up here anyway?
That's what I said. The new date is the 26th. It's still within the 30 days. That's what I mean. It's still within the statutory days allotted. It's yeah. And of course, it's the initial communication was to a correct county, not the county on the front page of the fugitive packet, but it was sent to that county. I guess there was a miscommunication on either who would send it out or when the court would allow it. So I don't know, because that's their end. I don't get to control what they do, but Douglas County was correctly informed. Let's see, so reset, surrender.
If they file new charges on the other counties, Abel,
He's
I
not
don't
going
know
anywhere.
about other PR bonds though, you know,
I'm
I
sorry,
am in this case because of the mix up, right? But I don't know about other ones, you know?
Right. I don't exactly. I don't know if he's be entitled to one as
So
well.
just get on it, doggone it.
Well, because if we do, well, it does matter, because if he's intending to do it and he's held on the other one, because
I'm gonna go ahead and hit pause on this real quick. This isn't the guy that had the child charges, is he? This was just an out-of-state warrant, from what I understand. Hold on, you're muted.
Oh, there we go. Now I fixed it. Yeah, no, I don't think it's the same guy because this guy is for sexual assault on a minor, on a child. So the other one was child porn.
Okay, but this is a child crime though.
Yeah, they said sexual assault on a child. Yes.
Okay,
yes,
well,
see.
yeah,
So it's
okay,
not great.
okay.
But Bodie asked a good question. there are amounts on PR bonds. You still don't have to pay to get out, but in theory, like say you get a $10,000 PR bond, that means if you don't show up like you're supposed to, you could be on the hook for 10 grand. I don't know how real that is. I don't know if they really come after you for the 10 grand. I know it's not good, but that's where you can see a PR bond with an amount. Like you'll see people get released on like 100,000 personal bonds where they don't have to put anything up, but if you don't show up, then you're on the hook for that. So that answers that question. Another thing I wanted to say, I think I maybe mentioned this last night, is when the last time when I got arrested, it said on my chart, they messed up my charging document as well, where they put on there that I was arrested for a parole violation instead of a probation violation. So, and the judge just scribbled it out and wrote over it. He didn't correct it in the system. So when I was trying to contact a bonding company to get me out, they were like, "You're on parole? Like, yeah, we'll bail you out for 100% of the bond amount because you're just going to go right back to jail. What's your TDC number, which is your Texas Department of Corrections number?" It's like, I don't have one because I've never been in prison. I've only been in jail once, and that wasn't even for a full day. So that was a big headache. When they mess up the stuff in the system, like it does have more effects than you realize. Like that cost me a good like 3 hours of trying to just get that problem fixed before a bonding company would even talk to me. So interesting.
Yeah, we've got a family member, cousins, brothers, uncles, sisters, wives, a family member, and we're getting bondsmen showing up at different family members' homes across the state trying to find them. They are damn determined to get that kid to go to court.
And bondsmen, you hear the 10%. Now, I can only say this as far as Texas because every state is different on how they treat their bonds and do bondsmen. Some states do it directly through the courts. Some states you have to do it through bondsmen. Texas is a bondsman state. So 10% is the floor. That's not a hard and fast rule. It's not always 10%. I had one tiny minor arrest for shoplifting 7 years ago that I messed up on probation, didn't realize it was reporting probation. That's why I got picked up this last time. It's now completely resolved and done for. But that's all I had on my record. I had never been arrested before, didn't have like any outstanding tickets, no outstanding issues at all. Had one minor arrest and they charged me 18% to get out. It cost me $1,800 to get out because I was in a different county, so I couldn't get a PR bond until they extradited me to a different county, to the right county. But anyways, yeah, that's the floor. Just saying.
Well, you should have called me. I could have told you a cheaper way to do it.
Not get arrested?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't do
that was my plan, but I wasn't aware there was something I needed to take care of. So
okay. Well,
anyways,
then we'll go. Then
make
we'll
sure
go
you
even.
Take care of your stuff, guys.
We'll go even a step further. Don't commit crimes. That way, you don't have to worry about getting arrested. So,
drugs are bad. Don't commit crimes.
Absolutely. Friendly advice from Bill today.
There you go.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and give a public service announcement. I just got a list of what's going to be on American Courts tonight. More court.
Oh, did American Courts finally get back to you on what they're going to have? Because they're horrible at getting back to you. I know.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're going to have court tonight, and it's just going to be the same stuff over and over. Fozzie was at work, and he was talking about how he missed something. I was like, no, court's great. You can go a month without watching it, go right back to it, and it's the same people doing the same thing. all the same players. And so let's finish this one up.
If you withdraw this waiver to permit the bond today, then we're going to go back to this again because it's going to be a whole lot. Well, I guess it wouldn't matter because they would start their 14 days. If judge
right. They're 14 days.
Another 14 days would kick in.
Right. For the
new
Stark County.
Right. Okay. Okay.
It does.
Let me write this up real quick.
I'm giving you a PR bond, right? If they let you out, they let you out. But if they file new charges between now and from the time that you're processed, then you're still going to be held because you're still wanted out of other counties. So if they're get it quick enough, because I don't know how long it'll take them, it'll still kick in. I don't know. So can you set bond at 50,000, please? Okay.
I'm still typing it up. If you want to,
but take your time. We're not sending him anywhere, so we can still have him sign everything. Okay, it's not.
I can, well, I don't know, are you waiting to approach or?
Yeah, all right, so we're just waiting
Yeah,
for
just,
whatever.
but don't send him down. We can have him sign stuff here momentarily. We're just gonna have him sign the reset, Abel, and then we'll,
And the PR bond.
yeah.
Yes. Understood. Thank you, Judge.
And then if they get it quick enough, then hey.
Right.
Okay, thanks, Abel.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's not a great one. So, all right, I found out, so the warrant, the hold that was initially placed was for, oh no, where did it go? It was for Sarpy County, but they used the original hold from 2020. So they booked it under the wrong holding number. So the initial case itself is screwed up, which they're correcting now. However, the second screw up was, in addition to that hold, they also sent out the teletype to the wrong county, Douglas County. So Douglas County should never have been contacted, but obviously I don't know how that happened, so it doesn't matter now. It would be still, and that's why Sarpy County never came to get him, and that's why Douglas County wasn't able to confirm, because the hold was for Sarpy County, but they used the wrong booking hold. They're looking to correct that. That's going to take another day. The bond still, the situation is still the same, because Sarpy County didn't come get him, but also because they weren't contacted. If the court still gives the bond now, it still takes, even if they get the paperwork today, because they have to correct the case number itself and the hold itself, they can't process it because it has no correct case number to attach to. So luckily he was magged, which kept the hold, but they have to redo the cause number to attach from not the one from 2020. Obviously, simultaneously, I'm getting Douglas County to send their paperwork to do a new investigative hold, which I thought was the old investigative hold, but that was actually 2020. So it's a screw up on 3 different accounts. So.
But it's new.
So this one, they actually, so Sarpy County never made a mistake because they never got a notification. They did.
No, the mistake's always been with us.
With
yeah. Sheriff's office.
So they never reached out to Sarpy, they only reached out to Douglas, and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna come get him and all that jazz. And I guess the reason why they couldn't confirm until after the fact, when Amy reached out and said, hey, what's going on, why aren't you here? Like, well, because the whole original poll wasn't for us, which is true, it was for Sarpy, and that's why both sides couldn't communicate on either end. So that said, we're back to square one. So yeah, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, Abel.
What are you going to refile and remand? You're going to re-magistrate him.
Yeah, well, yeah. So he's gonna have to reapproach regardless when they correct it. But my point of all that is for the bond itself, and I don't know if that changes the court's position on holding him, because they're still, until I tell them different this afternoon, is they can still come get, Douglas County can still get him on the 26th. I don't know Sarpy's answer until they reach out back. So either way, this is gonna be brought up tomorrow, if everybody wants to hold off until tomorrow, but I'm good either way. Because the case still needs, the case number still has to be corrected for the hold.
Well, I don't think that changes anything from what we discussed before, does it?
Well, it does, because Sarpy County was never contacted to come get him. They were the ones who initially put the hold, but no one reached out from the sheriff's office or Amy or me until today, when they're like, what's going on? We didn't know about this. Because all the information, all the notification for pickup went to Douglas County, who didn't legally have a hold. They just had a warrant out.
I understood, but that doesn't change anything.
I agree with you.
Okay.
You know, I mean, what does it change?
All right,
It's
so
still the same thing.
okay, but either way, it's still, I mean, I could put the reset in for the, or notification for the bond, but he still has to be brought up tomorrow for the case correction, which they're working on now. So like.
Unless he's released.
Unless he's released.
No, that's what I'm saying. They can't process the bond until it's corrected, because it goes.
Oh, I
to-
see.
It goes to a case number that's incorrect.
It's a 2020 case number, so they got to correct the cause number.
Right, so it goes to a case number that they can't functionally give a bond to. Because it's for the 2020 hold.
Is it theoretically possible they file a new case within the time that it takes to fix the bonding,
For the Douglas County, I mean, that's what I'm gonna be pushing for. I mean, the short answer is yes, because that's immediately what I'm gonna do after.
you know what I mean? You get it?
I understand now. I understand what he's saying.
So, I mean, in the docket notes, sure, I mean, the court's setting a $15,000 bond, that's already done, we're past it, but he still has to be brought up tomorrow to process the new case number.
Understood.
So you're okay with me putting on the reset for rollover? Because I don't want to put something that we don't agree to.
I don't know how long it'll take to fix that cause number snafu.
Because I talked to Central
Abel?
Records and they believe it's going to be tomorrow. That's coming from them, not me. That's not me guesstimating. They believe it's going to be tomorrow. Still there?
I don't think we have a choice.
Okay.
Right. I mean, ultimately, there's what choice do you have?
So I mean, again, I understand bad situation all around, and obviously I was misled because I contacted them.
Okay, so if that's the case, are you gonna nollie the current case that you have right now?
No, I can't because until
There's no cause number to do it.
Well, no, he's talking about the 2536466. So until they correct it, I can't because it's still.
Why not?
I'm sorry?
Why not?
Because we still need to process the warrant itself. So the warrant is correct, it's just attached to wrong. I don't know if they're going to just correct the hold on their side for this same cause number or if they're gonna do a new one. I don't have that answer yet, that's why I can't dismiss it. I don't know the answer.
This is such
If they're
a
just attaching it
mess.
correctly from the
Yeah.
035 hold to 2536466, or if they're gonna create a new one. I don't know. So I can't dismiss it until I get an answer. If they create a new one, for sure, I'm with you. I will dismiss it right now if that's the case, but I don't have an answer for that. I can't dismiss something I don't know if they're gonna change or not.
So you tell me I can't sign this PR bond then?
I mean, I mean, the court can sign and then submit it to the sheriff's office. They won't recognize it. They can't process it until they correct the hold to the correct case number. So sending it, that's not an issue. That's gonna happen regardless, but they're just not gonna accept it the way it is.
I'd ask that you sign up for the PR bond and.
I did.
we'll see you in court
I did,
tomorrow, see what
Abel.
happens.
Okay, so I'm gonna put on the reset rolling for tomorrow.
Right.
And then if it still turns out to be the same and for some reason passing understanding I can't get Douglas County to put in the hold by then at that point I'll do the reset form I printed out, well, with a new date, and then we'll figure it out from there. And this is gonna be a really long note that won't be fun for my life, but I'm glad, we got to the bottom of it. Okay, thank you.
That works.
Thank you, Abel. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Abel, for coming back.
And that's what bureaucracy gets us.
Oh my goodness, that was such a mess. Like, seriously. And yeah, I mean, we're not, I got two things to say. First off, we're definitely not oblivious to the fact that our justice system is broken.
Kevin Alvarado.
But there are good parts to it, and that's what we're trying to highlight. Now, my second question is, can defense attorneys pick and choose their clients? I don't think they can do that ethically, can they? I don't honestly know the answer to that question.
I don't think public defenders can, but I think a private defense attorney absolutely.
Yeah, obviously public defenders, they get what they get.
Right, but I think,
was wondering, like, can you choose, like, to? I guess you can.
yeah. So in Florida, if you, I'll use Judge Collier in Gulf County, Florida. When they assign a public defender, that county is so small they don't have public defenders, so they assign you someone who's in what's called a pool. Different attorney groups will sign up for a pool, just like a wrecker, just like the state troopers call for the next wrecker in line. They call for the next district, or they call for the next defense attorney in line, and you have to take it at that point, unless you can come up with a conflict, and you can come up with a conflict on anything. Right. So you can.
No, I got that one. I was just curious. I was like, could you actually say? I mean, not as a court appointed. Court appointed, you can't do anything about.
Right.
But I was wondering if, like, they ethically could say, "Hey, I don't want to defend." But yeah, I guess if you're charging for your services, you can pick and choose who you represent. So.
Right. But if you come up with a conflict, you can get out of it, and they come up with conflicts for the damnedest things. They can find a way to come up with a conflict.
Oh, definitely. And bye, Melissa. Have a great rest of your day. Sorry, I wanted to say bye before she left.
Yep. Bye, Melissa. Thank you so much for stopping by. All right, we're going to jump into this one. We've got another hour's worth of stuff, but some of the stuff is like little 2-minute ones, little 1-minute ones. But this is an interesting one here.
That's fine. Let's go.
Good morning, Mr. Spence. Do you have a lawyer today?
Sure.
Tell me what you're doing about that.
Well, I lost my job, so I'm right now trying to find a lawyer to work with me.
How do you support yourself?
Sir?
How do you support yourself?
Well, right now I'm still spending what I did have left over. I can't work because the defendant goes to my job trying to stop getting work. My job basically let me go because the person keeps coming up to my job, creating a scene.
Who's the complaining witness in this, Alex, on Spence?
Spence is gated relationship. Yes, Your Honor. So I believe.
What were you doing? So what are you going to do now?
I've been looking for new jobs.
Did you call the police when this person keeps coming? Why not?
And every time I have an altercation with the police, I don't know.
But if you're doing nothing wrong and you're at a place of business and she just keeps coming there, you've got a bunch of people that you're working with that can corroborate what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Just like last time, I went to jail, I got my tooth knocked out by the police.
What?
So I don't want to call the police. I just avoid it at all costs.
If you're doing nothing wrong, you're working, you've got a bunch of people that are there to corroborate what you're saying, there's nothing to worry about.
That's why I'm on bond.
Sorry?
I'm on bond right now.
Okay, I understand, but if you're working, someone's coming to harass you.
If I'm not safe in my own home, let's work. This case happened at my house.
What?
So
I think we're having two different conversations here, Mr. Spence. You know what I mean? I'm trying to help you out here, but
exact same conversation. I avoided it because I didn't want to deal with the police, so I just left.
so you just left what, work?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so they didn't fire you, you just left.
Yes, sir. Well, he said, he was like, until this case is dismissed, then you can return back to work. He's like, I can't have her coming up here creating these type of scenes.
The problem I have, Mr. Spence, is that, you're working at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, your 11th case. How many appointed lawyers have you gotten on all those cases?
I paid for most of my lawyers.
Really?
Yes, sir. Actually, all of them, actually. Except this last one with the felony.
You don't want to get in a spot where you have to argue with the judge that you've paid for most of your lawyers.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's not the flex you think it is, buddy.
No, the argument should be, Your Honor, I haven't done this before. This is new to me. I'm trying to work myself out of a bad situation. Help me navigate it.
Yeah, and that's not his situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And Bodie, you're making some strong arguments about how sometimes the system just chews people up and how it just sucks some people in. Absolutely. Me and my wife were talking yesterday about a manager for my company that I hired a couple years ago. He got pulled over at 1 p.m. in the afternoon and was suspected of DUI. He refused to give a breath test because he felt the police officer was being racist and he wanted a blood test. And the police officer was damn determined he was going to do a breath test. And he was, no, I want a blood test. You're not going to accuse me of something. Well, in the state of Florida, you lose your license for a year no matter what.
Right.
If you refuse a breath test. Well,
Right.
he took the blood test. He had nothing in his system. He still lost his license for a year. He fought it and he won, but he still lost his license for a year because the rules just simply say if you don't bow down and do exactly what the officer says, you just give up your license. That's just part of the game. I can understand it for officer safety. I can understand the need for compliance for officer safety, but I have a big issue with a government that says we're going to take your blood. I do. I now, in his case, he was completely clean, had nothing in his system, didn't have medicine, didn't have any alcohol, and didn't have nothing in his system, but he still lost his license for a year. Now, I was able to hire him because I needed a CDL driver on a piece of private property. And I was willing to give him a chance because on private property, I could keep an eye on him better. So if he came to work drunk, I would be able to tell. I would be able to tell if he was intoxicated. And so he was a worthwhile risk for me. And he's been with our company, I think 5 years now. He's a manager with our company. And
That's awesome.
so he's done great, but he got pulled over at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, got suspected of DUI, and decided to stand his ground, and lost his license for it. And so,
Yeah, it's part of the, I mean, that's just the way the law is written. It's the implied consent. So if you want a license, you have to be willing to submit blood or breath anytime you're asked of it, which is a little harsh. But on the other hand, like, how many people die because of drunk drivers? So I mean, we gotta try to curb that somehow.
right, and the
So I see
opportunity,
both sides of it.
right, and the opportunity that I had to speak with Judge Fleischer, and we talked about the DUI thing. I think all DUI should be, they should all be felonies. I think there should be harsh penalties, because I know people in this court community, I know people in the world that have forever changed their lives. People have lost lives due to a drunk driver, due to someone making a simple mistake. And what and what it comes down to is it comes down to it happens so often in Texas and probably in Florida too, and probably everywhere else too. But it happens so often. Right. You just can't lock everyone up for that long. You've got to work out deals with them. You've got to work out different issues with them. But no one's bringing anyone back to life. No one's bringing, someone who's crippled for the rest of their life. No one's bringing that back. No one's, you're sticking someone down a rabbit hole of pain management for the rest of their life. And the person that did
that's its own issues. Then you got pain management and addiction, and yeah, it sucks. It's awful.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's rough. And Bodie, you had mentioned that a teacher's gotten in trouble. I live close to the University of Florida, and right now one of the coaches is in trouble for messing around with the girls. It's apparently frowned upon for the University of Florida. But he's, he was doing everything from liking their Instagram pages and then deleting the like just to kind of flirt with them. He'd like it to get their attention, then he'd delete it thinking they didn't screenshot it. And as long as there's going to be humans, there's going to be garbage out there. People are going to always hurt each other. You just got to work towards being around the good people that are not, and learn how to manage the ones that are.
100%.
So, absolutely, Zach's got egos over wisdom sometimes. Absolutely.
Sure. And Brecken, we'll see you tonight. Have fun teaching the children to swim.
Yeah, you don't. Oh gosh, Brecken's always got the worst comments. I mean the best comments, Brecken. Yep, go teach the little kids how to swim, and make sure that the parents don't complain to you too much. All right, we're going to jump back into this one.
Parents.
I think this guy has another round or two of excuses to give.
Let's hear him.
Last one, though. Appointed lawyer.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
You want to apply for an appointed lawyer now?
Sure. Yes, sir.
Let me see if I have an application.
And I was told by the other lawyer that my paperwork downtown, like whenever they took me to jail and made me fill out that paperwork, was completely wrong.
Here I have that you make
Welcome,
$9,000.
Kelly.
No, sir. I wouldn't be here if I did.
All right.
Hey,
I
Kelly.
need you to fill out a new application for me then. I'll take a look at it and we'll see. Okay? Just be honest on it. Be honest. Don't just put zeros. Okay? All right. You mind?
I've got a Stephanie Rubio Hernandez. And this was, I believe, a positive test for alcohol. You wanted to bring her here today, revoke her bond, let her do a couple days, and then reinstate her bond. Can I ask you to just do 1 day instead of 2?
I think that's what we were going to do.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do, she goes in today, let her out tomorrow, or reinstate tomorrow, and then she starts on the thing.
Well, I need to come back by tomorrow to remind you to reinstate, or you?
No, I'll make a note. If you want
Hi,
to, you
old
can.
Kelly.
I'll make a note and I'll leave it right
That's why
here
I
for
just
me.
wanted to make sure.
Let me see.
I'll do that. But we can reach out to the court. Not an issue.
Okay. It's Rubio Hernandez.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Come up, ma'am.
Stand. Come up.
I really hope you take advantage of this because, not many people are entering into this program, and people who have a hard time just getting into the program, I'm telling you, we see them really, really quick, even after they're admitted. I really hope that you take advantage of this because I'm telling you now, if you end up with a DWI conviction, it's going to hose you for the rest of your life, not to mention the costs associated with everything. It'll be hard to get a job. It'll be hard to do anything in this life with a conviction on your record. So you need to do everything in your power to make sure that you make it work. I hope that this is enough. You understand me? Okay. All right. So we'll do it. We'll reinstate it then tomorrow, and then she'll be entered into the program tomorrow, and then I hope everything goes well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Please just take a seat for me.
So this one here, try to pick up what he did. I didn't really catch what he did, but I know at one point he's even cutting up with the judge. And so it seems like they have a history together. I know they had a computer glitch and that caused kind of a off the moment, in other words, they were just kind of being cool with each other. But it's almost like we got to see a little behind the scenes there because he was a little comfortable with this guy, and I didn't quite catch what it was.
Let's try to find out.
All right, we're going to do probable cause in your case. Mr. Sanchez, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You speak English, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Charged with interference with emergency request for assistance, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. Okay.
Your Honor, I apologize. The internet's not working. I can't load any cases right now. That's like every court.
I'm trying.
They don't show the bondsman posting. You gotta talk to the bondsman.
Hey, Allie, you put up a bad Discord link.
I know. I've sent like 3 of them now, so hopefully that works.
Yeah. So just telling everybody, Discord is a horrible, horrible, evil. For some reason, the links love to expire and the links love to not work. We've got to figure that out because that drives me crazy. And I
literally just created 2 new links, so I don't know why they would be.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the constant creating links is what it is. I'm just saying there was a link that's not supposed to ever. There's a link that's not supposed to ever go away. And so let's see if I can pull it up because it makes no sense.
Same thing every single time, and it works for other people. I think it's See, sometimes the links work. So
okay, I'm gonna hit play because it makes no sense. It makes no sense to stop a video because of a damn Discord link.
You're killing me.
Hey, are we waiting an interpreter?
Hey, Blue Strat dude made it to Discord, so it's working.
Are we waiting on
There
it?
is
I'm saying.
She told me she'd pay it yesterday.
Don't use the county internet. Or can you not?
Don't use the county.
Possible? No, I guess you can't.
I think we have to use that.
Something with the server.
Wait, see if that helps you.
I need to.
I guess.
Complaining witness. Usually with these types of cases, there's a complaining witness. That's why. You're slowing down the man that goes at 100 miles an hour.
Very sorry for the delay on this.
Okay. I mean, I'm fine. It's just.
I'm all right. I think I might be able to pull it up for you. Right.
No?
Sorry, where did you just that?
Okay, Judge, I have it.
Got it. Wonderful. All right. What's the word, Thunderbird?
All right. Officers were dispatched to a residence where a female caller provided a listed location and disconnected the call, sounding frantic. Upon arrival, the complainant stated that her boyfriend had snatched the phone out of her hand and hung up, knowing that the witness was making a call to 911 for an emergency. The officer was able to confirm with the witness, the complainant, that the phone number used to call dispatch was her phone number. The complainant stated that the altercation started due to an issue with the phone. She said they started to fight over the phone but she was able to retrieve it and she called 911, gave the address, but then that's when the defendant took the phone out of her hand and hung up.
There's no assault.
I'm not seeing one, though, Judge.
Do we know whether she wants to have contact with him?
I can see, Judge. Every tab takes a few minutes to load.
Judge, no contact is fine, Your Honor.
Do you know the relation of these boyfriend, girlfriend? Ex. Okay.
They don't live together, no need.
So Mr. Sanchez, don't have contact with this person. I'm entering a protective order.
Yes, sir.
So that
I don't want no contact with.
it's Ms. Martinez is a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person.
No problem, sir.
Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.07 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You can threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. You cannot be in possession of a weapon. Have they done anything with the felony bond yet? You're on bond for a very serious felony case. You're looking at up to 20 years in prison. If I were you, you better have a halo over your head, because if not, they're going to revoke that bond and then you're really up the creek.
I'm on bond already.
I know, but they haven't revoked it. They haven't done anything. That's mine because he picked up a new case. That's normally what happens. So we'll leave your bond as is. I don't know if you're going to bond out. If you do, don't have any contact with this person at all.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll have you sign this condition. We'll have you sign that, and then you guys are good to go. Do you want to be set after the felony, Mr. Gold?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, done. All right, guys. Good luck. Mr. Sanchez. Hey. All right.
Daniel Frazier.
Got him. Do you mind?
Daniel Frazier.
Come on. Come on, Steven.
I should have known better.
You guys want to hear a cute Steven story?
Yep. Yeah, we'll go out with that. What you got?
Okay. Friday, when I got there to pick up Linus, I was sitting over where I normally sit, or where I sat the first time I was there, which is kind of over by where Victoria, I'm like pointing at my screen like you guys can see it, kind of over by where Victoria was, where you guys saw me the first time. It was on the 15th. And I was sitting there. Well, when I went on the 15th, Steven wasn't there. He had the day off. So he never met me. He doesn't know who I am. So I was sitting there basically right in front of where you check in at the bailiff station. And I was on my phone because I was modding and I was on Discord and telling everybody I just got there and everything. And he's like, put your phone away. Because I'm sitting basically right in front of him. And he's like, put your phone away. He had no idea who I was. And I was like, okay, sorry. And I was just like smiling, laughing. Because like, I wasn't going to be like, you don't know who I am. Because that's just stupid. So I sat there and I put my phone away and I was just enjoying court. And then Luis came in. And Luis and I had talked beforehand. He came over and introduced himself. And we started talking. And anyways, he came in and was like, started talking to Victoria and some of the other court staff. Oh, I hear we're going to have YouTubers in here today. And I raised my hand and I'm like, I'm right here. And he's like, oh my goodness, you're already here. And that's when Luis came over and introduced himself. But Steven was like, oh, I didn't know who you were. And then immediately changed his whole like demeanor and was like, do whatever you want. You want to come sit over here in the jury box? You want to come sit up here by the judge? We'll take care of you. He was so sweet. It was really cute. It was a funny story. I loved it.
Oh, that was a great story.
React, Bill.
Yeah, that was a great story. No, it's neat to see it's neat to see them be be people. It's neat to see them be individuals that, because, the first time that I saw Steve was Kathy had showed a video of a sovereign citizen getting tasered. That was the first video I saw of Judge Fleischer. And,
Oh, wow.
And it was, Court Vibes was showing it, and it was the funniest thing because he had gotten tasered, he had got, hauled off to the back by Steven. And Judge Fleischer the whole time was like, oh, I still need to talk to him. I still need to go and, I still need to go do what I need to do. Where most any judge would just, well, he's done for the day. Judge Fleischer's like, no, let's go ahead and wrap it up. I'll go back there and deal with him.
Yep.
And so, but it was a neat one.
It was really cool. I remember that one. That one was fun.
Yeah. Hey, thank you guys so much for coming out. I'm going to hit play and I'm going to run it out. It's got about 30 minutes left. And whenever it ends, it's going to end. Allie, you hang around and say hi to everybody and do that, but there's not going to be any controls on it. And you guys have fun. Thank you so much for coming out. We're going to try to do this during the week to try to, in the end, just try to give some entertainment during the after hours. Give the entertainment from that 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock time frame. I had to look over to see how close it is to 5 o'clock. It's 4:30, so it's getting close. So
yep.
You guys have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to hit play and run it out. So here we go.
Don't expedite it, so you want to like how long does it take and all of that stuff.
How is he now? Is he okay? Really? Is he?
He doesn't want to receive treatment without receiving mental health treatment first. He says he suffers from depression and anxiety. He failed to be able to focus while receiving his drug treatment, which was one of the frustrations that he experienced while there. And so I don't think he's going to be a very good candidate at this stage, based on what he's sharing with me.
We still got about a half hour of video.
Oh, wow, they charged me with the felony too.
Stick around if you guys want to.
He's in a 338.
It takes a while, right?
It does.
At this point, we're stuck anyways. There's nothing we can do anyways, I mean. Good morning, Mr. Frazier. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I'm happy to see you, You look good. You do. The bad part about it is they filed on you because of the absence. So now you're looking at that time. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. I'm not letting you go. I'm just going to keep you close for me until forever. I'm not letting you go. I'm going to keep you with me. And I agree, perhaps, with the mental health caseload might help. Unfortunately, the bad part is that we can't do anything until upstairs resolves. And I really hope that doesn't just kill us down here, meaning that if they, if they put them on a deferred upstairs, it might just, it'll consume us.
We'll have a new judge soon, up there, Judge. That's my only concern.
You gotta be careful. He doesn't play.
Sir?
The judge upstairs doesn't play.
Yes, sir.
We care about you. We want the best for you. We really do, Mr. Frazier. And I'm not letting you go. I don't care what happens upstairs, and I hope that they don't just willy-nilly nolly it, But I don't know what's going to happen. I guess at this point we'll just keep it. We'll roll it with the felony. We'll see what happens. Do you have a lawyer up there already?
Yes, sir.
Do you know who it is?
I don't. I'm not able to get into that case yet.
John Lewis.
Okay. Mr. Lewis. Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the felony is set for 12/5. We'll
Yes,
see
sir.
the day after, and then we'll just, we'll see what happens. And
Yes, sir.
that's something that they may explore upstairs, the mental health casework. But gotta understand that you're looking at a lot of time now, and you're with a very, very no-nonsense judge up there. So the way that you and I have had dealings with for the past, 3-4 years, you try that up there, you're looking at 10 years. 10 years.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Understood.
Okay. All right. We'll see you the day after.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Hi, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I'm approaching on Eric Ramirez, and I was attached to that case, but I don't think that an order of appointment was ever actually done. So
Okay, thank you.
No, I need to know whether he qualifies. No, I mean, if it was done a mistake, it was done a mistake. Okay. Eric Ramirez, come up. Your appointment was done in mistake.
that's what I understand, but I'm.
So.
Yeah.
No. I mean, we don't give out lawyers like it's candy. No, you have to qualify, Mr. Ramirez. We don't, the appointment of Mr. Elick on your case was done by mistake. Yeah, you need to go hire a lawyer. Of course. Stop, don't say anything. Don't. Just don't. Of course, we'll give you more time. We'll give you 30 days, but it was done by mistake. You just need to go hire one. So, do we have bond on Mr. Ramirez? Do we need? It looks like there's a protective order and there are bond conditions. Okay, remember, you're under bond condition. This court, follow all the bond conditions. Otherwise, we have a place for you. We don't want to put you there. Follow conditions. All right, just take your seat here momentarily and we'll have you sign a reset. We'll get you out. Okay? All right. Okay, Mr. Willick, you're off.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. So he's off, THA. And if you want to do it now, he's right there.
We have this case worked out, Your Honor. We initially filed for PTI. He just informed me that he wants to set it for a plea. He wants to take time served.
He didn't do the mitigation package, did he?
He did.
He did?
He did.
I know.
He got it in. We got it in last week. He got it in. He says, I explained it to him. I told him everything. He said, you know, I'm 64 years old. I don't want to be on probation.
Is that him over there?
Yes.
Order in the court.
Hi, Jay.
Where you want him to stand? Okay. All right.
Good morning, Mr. Bell. You know, in life, when you take a half-ass result or half-ass approach, you get a half-ass result. And I know that it's always easier to just take it and just be done with it, but I'm going to tell you now, when you get a DWI conviction on your record, it will hose you in every way imaginable. Anytime you want to get car insurance, it's going to be 3 to 4 times what it would be to the average person. Insurance companies are so bad nowadays, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Do you have car insurance now?
Yes, I keep it.
Do you pay a lot?
130.
Okay. It will quadruple to quintuple if you end up with a conviction on your record. Not to mention, there's fines and fees from DPS to pay. Not to mention, you ever pick up another one, it's a minimum of 30 days in jail. So you're the master of your own domain. You're still a spring chicken, so you probably got another 25 to 30 years of driving. I'm telling you, the conviction on your record. But if you want to do it.
May I interject? You know, the package is to Nathan Beadle, and I think he just got a little antsy. If we can go through the process, I want him to take the package. I want him to take the program because I know it's going to be beneficial in the end.
The only problem is you got to stay clean for a year. And if you can do that, in 2 classes, it gets dismissed. And you avoid probably around $5,000 in fines and fees here, not to mention a lifetime of 4 to 5 times insurance. And it's probably not just car insurance. Your homeowner's insurance will probably go up if you pay homeowner's insurance. And anytime you want to get a car You want to get a loan to get anything? They're going to look at this. They're going to charge you more. You're a liability. You don't have to make a decision now, but I'm telling you, anytime you have the ability to get something dismissed, you're winning. It's up to you. If you want to still set up her plea, I'm happy to do it, but get ready to pay.
Can you do me a favor?
Sure.
Nathan should be ruling in a week or so.
Set off a week.
Yeah. Give it 2. I'm gonna be out of town for Thanksgiving.
2 weeks. Done.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. But if he wants to do the time served, he's got to do it next time. It's 210 days now. So if you're going to take it, you do it next time. But I'm telling you, it's a fool's errand to take a conviction when you can try to get this thing dismissed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Mr.
Thank you,
Bell. Of course.
Order in the court.
Lobet.
Linus's favorite thing was she really wanted to see a guy in an orange jumpsuit when she was in court. So when somebody got brought up,
Container allegation.
she was so excited.
True or untrue on the open container.
On my case,
Uh-huh.
that would have to be abandoned so we could do this deal. I didn't see it on the paperwork, on the final paperwork, it's not on that.
Are you guys, what do you say with the open container? Are you wanting to abandon it? Because if not, he's got 3 days to do. Or actually 5 days. Mr. Levesque, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for how much time? Credit for the 1 day that you've done. You need to understand that this charge will go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. If you ever get pulled over in a car and an officer sees or smells anything funky in the car, it's a good possibility that they take you down and charge you with a second offense. What we're doing today, from now on, you are facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. Do you understand? So if you're not in this country with permission, you do any more than 4 to 6 hours in custody, you can almost bet yourself that you'll end up with an immigration detainer. You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement and once you plead guilty, it will go on your record and you can never take it off. You understand?
Yes.
Is this what you want to do?
Yes.
Is it true or untrue that you have a 0.15 or above?
Yes.
It's true to that enhancement. State on the open container, say.
We're abandoning the enhancement.
I want you to understand that they're abandoning container allegations. And I would hope that you get it through your thick cabeza. You're not tapped out of the car while you are driving. Do you understand?
Yes.
I'm going to suspend your license or ability to drive for 180 days. You are not to drive whatsoever for any reason. And I'm going to tell you, if you do, that in and of itself is a Class B misdemeanor, and you can be right back over here. You come back here with a new case, it's not going to go well, sir. Do you understand? How do you plead to the driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Find you guilty.
Encuentro culpable, lo
3 days in
sentencio
jail, give you
a 3 días en la
credit for
cárcel con el crédito para el
1.5 allegation is true.
es verdad.
Abandon the second enhancement.
Segundo.
What do you do for a living?
¿Qué se dedica usted?
Guardia de seguridad.
I'm a security guard.
kind of money do you make a month,
¿Qué
sir?
tanto dinero gana usted al mes, señor?
No, pero ahora, hace 2 meses que no trabajo, no estoy trabajando.
It's been 2 months that I have not worked. I'm not working.
Why not?
¿Por qué no?
Porque me sacaron del trabajo.
Because they just took me out of my job.
How do you support yourself?
¿Cómo se mantiene usted?
No, porque trabajamos 3 en la casa.
Because there's 3 of us in the house that work.
You still need to eat. How do you
Hay
eat?
que comer. ¿Cómo se come? ¿Cómo se alimenta?
Con el dinero de ellos por ahora.
With their money for right now.
I'm asking you these questions because there's a ton of fines and fees that come with the DWI. I will begrudgingly waive these fees for you now. But if you are not smart enough to consider how to get home on a night of drinking like a little child, I will put you over my knee like a little child and I will spank you like a little child, but I will spank you with a ton of jail time. Do you understand?
Everybody goes crazy
Second
when he says
DWI, you were looking at around $7,000 in fines
gonna
and
get
fees.
spanked.
And if you don't pay it, you sit 1 day in jail for every $100 you owe. Get a clue. Every day, someone dies in this county for the DWI. Don't become a statistic. Do you understand? All right.
Yes.
Judge, if I may, the only thing I would add to this is, he had a ALR suspension. Would you give him credit for
I'm
the
not
time?
going to reward him any more than we're doing now. No. Don't get into a car and don't have a license. Do not drive. I will protect my county in every way, Mr. Lebet. And if that means putting you in custody, I'll do it in a heartbeat.
You need a waiver for the.
Yeah. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Por favor, conteste a voz alta.
Okay. Why are you here?
¿Por qué está
Linus,
usted
have you
aquí?
weighed yourself yet?
I was summoned here.
Why?
¿Por qué?
No sé.
I don't know.
I have here in front of me
Yo
that you
tengo
are
aquí enfrente de
tampering
mí
with
que
the
estaba bregando
device.
con el aparato.
Este aparato nomás me lo movieron de aquí para el otro pie,
This
allá en
device
la
was
oficina.
just moved from this leg to the other one there
la
at the
oficina.
office. At the office.
En la oficina.
I have here that you are tampering with the device at 1 in the morning.
No,
A la 1 de la madrugada.
Oh, no,
Oh no.
no,
No.
no.
I have here different.
Aquí algo
Sí,
diferente.
pero yo no he hecho nada.
No,
No
but
he
I
hecho
haven't
nada
done
yo.
anything.
No he hecho nada yo.
I haven't done anything.
Nada he hecho.
Team tells me
Ella me
different.
dice algo diferente.
Sí, pero no he hecho nada.
No, but I haven't done anything.
Nada he hecho yo.
I haven't done anything.
Y seguro que no he hecho nada.
I'm sure that I haven't done anything.
He said they switched it. That's all he
Dice
knows.
que lo único que
Not
sabe
they
es que le
switched.
cambiaron de un pie a otro.
Sí, eso sí se lo cambiaron.
Yeah, they just moved them.
Es lo único.
That's the only thing.
Pero yo no he hecho nada.
When are you telling me that they moved the device?
Me dice que movieron ese aparato.
Hace como 2 semanas.
It's been about 2 weeks.
Sí.
That's about right, Judge.
Tamper was a month ago, and
Eso
they're
que
just
me
now
hace
getting
como
us
un mes atrás.
tamper. I have here
Yo
that the
tengo
tamper
aquí
was
que
in
eso
on
fue
October 18th.
el 18 de octubre.
Mr. Lazamorphin, I
Señor
want you to
Lazamorphin, yo
understand
quiero que
above
usted
all
entienda.
else, do not consume alcohol.
Alcohol.
Do not consume.
I haven't drank any alcohol.
I want you to listen.
Quiero que usted escuche.
Sí.
Yes.
I don't want you to consume alcohol. I don't want you to consume anything that has alcohol in it. And I don't want you to mess with the machine. If there are any more tampers with the machine, it's not going to go well. Do you understand?
¿Lo entiende?
Sí, yo lo entiendo.
Yes, I
Do
understand.
not put anything in between the machine and your skin. Make sure that clothing does not get stuck in the machine.
La máquina,
It is your responsibility to know what to do and what not to do.
él no puede hacer.
Sí.
You understand?
¿Entiende?
Sí, yo lo entiendo.
Yes, I understand.
All right.
Está bien.
So Noli, we'll continue with the bond.
Va a seguir bajo fianza.
Just
Va a seguir, va a
admonish him
continuar.
accordingly. Any more
Pero
issues?
déjelo de acuerdo,
Ya
que
que
no tenga
tengo que arreglarlo,
problemas.
ya yo tengo.
It's just that I have it here and that's all. That's.
Linus, you're killing me.
For Daniel Perez Garcia on his client Eduardo Garcia Ibarra.
You here for Dan?
Judge, he's stuck in hearings for
It's okay.
immigration this
Yeah.
morning.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, Your Honor.
So it's Garcia Ibarra, right?
Yes.
Okay. So are you can you do the attorney record form for him?
I will do that, Judge. I thought it was already done, but I'll get it done for him. Yes, Your Honor. I will get it done this morning for him. Judge, just quickly, I wanted to approach on behalf of the client. The client is wanting to see if the court would allow him to remove his curfew. He has both the curfew and the scram device. He says scram device, I totally understand. It's my second DWI. I will be compliant. I have been compliant. I did speak with pretrial this morning and they said, yes, he has been compliant. Mr. Garcia Ibarra has said has had both devices since he was arrested. So again, he knows it's your discretion, Judge, but he's asking, basically, he's had to cut back on hours, which he needs more. And generally what he's been doing before that was he'd go to work, come home, he'd work out at times, then he'd go pick up his child take his child with him to go work out. So that they have more time together, Judge. So that's the reason why he's asking for the curfew to be removed.
I don't know. I don't remember his case at all. All I know is that you have an open DWI. You've got 2 felony assault on a peace officer. I don't remember what happened on your case. All I know is that nothing good happens at 2 in the morning while you have all these cases open. And that's why what we're trying to do, we don't want you to get in any more trouble. And so being out in the middle of the night is conducive to that. And we're trying to prevent anything else from happening, right? So what happened in the case?
So in his case, officers were dispatched to a possible intoxicated driver that crashed into the bushes at a Jack-in-the-Box. The defendant was stopped in the parking space near the roadway with the engine on and transmission in reverse. The defendant was passed out behind the wheel. The officer put the transmission in park and attempted to wake the defendant. After waking the defendant pressed the gas pedal, causing the engine to rev up, and then pressed the brake and gas pedals simultaneously. The officers, when they made contact with the defendant, observed red watery eyes, slow slurred speech, a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and the defendant became belligerent and hostile when they attempted to have him exit the vehicle. During the time, the defendant was resisting and tackled one of the officers to the ground, then kicked him. And he later stated, "I don't answer questions," after the officers read his Miranda warnings. And he also spit on the officers.
Okay. What do you want?
I just want to be able to be with my son more times. They have to work more.
How old is your son?
He's 11.
Okay. And what time do you want? What do we have now, Felicia?
9 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay. What time do you want?
Can do 11, that's fine with me.
I'll give you till 10, okay? But 11-year-olds.
I got 2 more. He's the oldest. He's always with me. And I have another daughter and a baby. So usually the baby only get here like every other 2 weeks.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a pipe fitter, Your Honor. I work in refineries. I don't do drugs. All I do is work and my kids.
Judge, I was going to ask for 11 just because it gives him time to work a little longer and then still try and do what he would like to do with his son. He doesn't get to do it all the time.
I mean, I haven't gotten any violations. You've been doing good. I'll give you to 11. I'm not giving you any more though. Nothing good happens in the middle of the night, and we don't want you out in the middle of the night. Just do what you need to do. Stay clean. Things will go well. Listen to your lawyers; they'll take care of you. I'll give you to 11, but don't make me regret it. Please.
No, I won't, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. We have a plea on Garza Faz. You want me to go in today, Judge, from here, or do you want me to report today?
Say it again.
Can you report today? You want me to go in from here? He's going to be going into custody.
No, he goes in now.
Okay.
No.
All right. So
I mean, he's got a bunch of bond violations.
I understand. I was asking.
Mr. Garza Faz, come up.
30 days or 2 days credit.
What is it?
30 days or 2 days credit.
Got it. Mr. Garza Faz, you speak English?
Yes, sir, perfectly.
Okay. We asked you not to consume alcohol, and all you've been doing is consuming alcohol. You consumed alcohol allegedly 10-12, 10-13, 10-16. You now stand charged with driving while intoxicated. Second offense, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. So you guys have worked out an agreement. He's doing 30 days credit for the 2, correct?
So, and he has since sold his vehicle, and he says he's looked into the AA around him to start.
You know, you can tell me that until we're blue into the face. You know you better than anyone else. You can tell me this, you can tell me that, you can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourself. And the other thing is you can't lie to the police officers when they pull you up. They're just going to look at you. They're going to look at your record. Even if they smell the remote funkiest smell of whatever it may be, from now on, you will be looking at up to 10 years in prison. Don't matter how, what, when, where, what, no. All they look at, your record, and then they look at how you are. You understand?
Yes, sir.
If I were you, even if you've had the smallest, faintest sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into a car because you were taking a humongous risk. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. Under federal law, you give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. It will stay there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. You understand?
I understand, sir.
It also is alleged here that you had a prior DWI from September 15, 2014 in County Court at Law Number 15. Is this true or untrue?
That's true, sir.
I will find it true. How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Second offense.
Guilty, sir.
I will find that you guilty. I will send you to 30 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you've done. I'm going to suspend your license for 1 year. Do not drive until you get a license. You know, all we want our streets to be safe. It's a damn shame that every single day someone has to die in Harris County because of a boneheaded move out there when literally all you have to do is
push a button on your phone.
On your phone. $15 wherever you want to go in the city. Don't matter. Wherever you want to go. At the max $20. Instead of now spending the next 30 days in jail. $15 it could have cost you.
Yes.
The next time, you're really looking at some serious time. So even if you're 72, 89, don't get into a car. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, I do.
Nope. Bill was here. He's just left.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a general laborer, sir. As of this year, I've been going through staff employment agencies and just working here and there. And I'm a caregiver at home to my 75-year-old brother. He's got dementia and stuff, so I do errands for him to get him to leave the house. So
one of the things that you're now going to be responsible for, they're around $7,000 in fines and fees because of this. How are you going to pay that?
I plan on going to work. I mean, I have to. Yeah.
Well, I was asking the way that these judge, he's an indigent. I think you run together at this. And I would ask that you waive the mandatory fine, Judge.
Why would we reward someone taking off $7,000 when all you've done is continue to drink? Why would we reward you? I think that rewards, especially monetary ones where it's a ton of money, should be based on when you're doing something good. Why?
Well, I'll judge. I would hope that he's clearly still indigent. Judge, he doesn't have a job. He watches his brother. But I don't what income they have from that. And I was appointed to him because the same reason, Judge. So I would ask that you would waive the fine.
I'd like to see you do something worthwhile with your life for us to be able to do this. Perhaps start doing AA, and if we say that it's done well, we'll waive the fee. But I would be remiss in me just waiving the fee just because you're. I think what we like to see is
No, I didn't.
activity. The fact that you're trying to help yourself and better yourself and not resorting to this to go through life. It serves. No, let me think about it, Martha. All right. I'm going to have you see, the clerks will have you sign. I'm going to think about how we can do this.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, Martha.
Do you need me, sir?
No.
Thank you.
Felicia, when did we send him for a drug test?
That was on the.
We did have to turn around at the Gigafactory at security because it was only employees. So they get people all the time that come in there driving around. So I just had to tell the security guard, we're turning around. He's like, no problem. It was fun. It was cool. The Gigafactory is really big, though, and it's very worth the trouble of going and seeing it. It's pretty cool.
What do you test positive for?
It was confirmed by the lab as positive for alcohol.
Mr.
Guys,
Forrest, you have a
look
lawyer
who's
today?
next to me.
Call upon the lawyer.
Did you fill out an affidavit for me? We sent you home with an affidavit, did we not?
That's the Lana. She's sleeping,
I didn't know that.
Or no? Did we send him home? Do you know?
When I left, you sent me straight to the drug test.
So what are you doing these days? Are you working?
I got an interview today for 3 o'clock at Food Town.
Food Town?
Yeah.
Great.
I got the application. She gave it to me. I got to fill it out and stuff.
How do you have an interview? You don't even.
No, she told me. No, I met her. She's a very nice person. So she told me just fill this out, come back in there, give it to her, and then come back round 3. So I just catch the bus. Guess we're on the road.
No more smoking dope. No more using.
Dope?
Yeah. No drugs, no alcohol. You understand?
I don't do drugs.
Don't use.
No, I don't do drugs. Okay. Period. Weed, pills, I don't do that.
Good.
That ain't my life.
An application. I need you to fill out an application for me, and then I'll take